everyone. Welcome to YWAM Denver Live. My name is Ryan, and I'm one of the leaders here at YWAM Denver. And I've been on staff for, this is my 8th year, and I currently serve as our CFO, helping oversee our finances, and I lead our School of Biblical Studies, which is a 9-month Bible school where the students go inductively studying each book of the Bible, learning how to apply it to themselves. And this is Andrew.
I'm Andrew. I've been on staff here for a couple of years. I assist Ryan in the SBS and also in the finance department.
Yeah. So we're so glad that you guys are joining us. Something that we wanted to share with you guys is kind of just the flow of life and how sometimes we just have a point from A to B, thinking it's just going to be a straight line to our destination. And sometimes God just wants to take us different places, kind of intervene a little bit and say, you've been going this way, but actually I want you to go this direction. And so we just want to share with you guys a little bit about that. And so Andrew, just for yourself, how have you seen that happen where you've been going one way and God kind of intervenes and say, okay, I have something different for you?
I think the most obvious one is how I ended up here. Before this I was working with a Christian organization in Tanzania, just working there, ministering with the community there. And I'd kind of got to the point where I wanted to do some training, and I got to the point where I was okay. I decided to leave, move on, and looking at doing different training options. And for me, that looked like Bible school. And then in kind of that transition period, I had an opportunity to go with some ministry partners to the Middle East, to do a trip to the Middle East there to serve with them for a couple of weeks. And I'd originally hoped to go the date I originally hoped to go, it didn't really work out because my colleague in Tanzania was away doing language school, so I couldn't leave. But there was an opening for another trip a couple of weeks after that, which I was able to go on. I kind of just signed up, went for it. Didn't really think anything of it, didn't know anybody else that was going to be there, but I knew I kind of wanted to go and be a part of this ministry trip. And when I got there, it turned out it was a team from YWAM Denver. It was a staff team from YWAM Denver, 10 staff members, going for a couple of weeks to kind of do some ministry, check out the place. And just in my time with them there, I got chatting to them about what YWAM is, what DTS looks like, learned about even SBS and all that kind of stuff. And just in that short period of, this is, something that I hadn't even intended to do, something that wasn't on my radar, something that if I'd had my own choice, I would have done 2 weeks earlier. God spoke to me about doing YWAM and coming to YWAM and doing the DTS and the SBS, and so that's what I did. I ended up here 6 months later doing a DTS, and then coming back 6 months after that to do the SBS, and I've kind of been here since. And just in the middle of that, seeing, from that one thing from, God taking what I wanted to do, still letting me do it, but just changing the timing of it and working things in His timing, has led me to being here, to not just doing schools here, but now joining staff and meeting my wife here and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it was just incredible seeing how God moved in that and worked with that to take what I thought were my plans and what I wanted to do and actually change that direction a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well because our stories kind of overlapped a little bit where you did DTS and then trying to figure out what to do next. And while you are contemplating what's next after DTS, for my wife and I, we were in this position of, our commitment was up on staff, and we were thinking we're ready to move on. God has something else for us. I wanted to go and teach the Bible at Christian school or be a youth pastor, something involved with just teaching the Word. And so we found out we were pregnant with our daughter, and just praying, okay, God, like, what is next? Is this the right path for us to leave staff, move on to something else? And as we were kind of praying, I just kept getting this feeling of I'm not ready. I'm not ready to just go and be a teacher yet. And so as we were praying, it just the idea of the SBS, the School of Biblical Studies, came into my mind, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just go to another base, do this 9-month Bible school. I'll be done. I'll be ready, equipped, ready to go and teach. But the longer I thought about it, and we were praying, we felt like that we weren't done with Wild Endeavor yet. And so we talked to Peter and Linda, the base directors here, and said, hey, I had this passion to do the SBS. What's your thoughts on starting that school here? And I remember Peter saying, man, I've been praying for 15 years that this school would run here. And I was like, really? I was like, wow, okay, well, I guess, maybe this is something that we're supposed to do. And so through a long story, kind of make it short, we were able to run a hybrid SBS where we had some online SBS leaders come and help us get us started here. And that's the school that you did. Yeah. You and I were part of it, and there's 5 of us total. 3 of us were on staff, and the other 2 ended up getting married and joining our staff. So it was a very effective school, I would think. We would all the staff would go home at night, and I guess Andrew and Kaylin would just sit around and talk a little bit and study. Right. Yeah. And so that's just like just a little story of how I've seen God, say, you want to go this way. I still want you to teach the Bible, but I actually have something different for you. And sometimes that's just how it is. We get so caught up on just reaching our calling that sometimes we're just oblivious to what's around us and what's going on. Yeah. And I know for myself, I've led a few outreaches, and in 2014, I believe, I was leading a team to Thailand, and we were in Chiang Rai, and we're trying to get from the place we were doing, street evangelism, dramas, back to the place we were staying. And we had to cut through a night market, which, if you've never been to Thailand, it is a street that is just packed full of people trying to buy things, barter, and it's very easy to get lost and, wait, where's everyone else on my team? And that's what happened. As we were walking, there was, I think, 14 of us. I turned around and I'm like, where is Lizzie? And she was one of the students, and I'm looking, and I see her talking to an older guy on the street. And I started getting frustrated. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's late, people are everywhere. I don't want to lose everyone and have to call someone's parents and tell them, hey, I don't know where your child is. Like, it's just my greatest fear. It's my first time leading the outreach. And as I was talking with her afterwards, this guy was basically a beggar. He couldn't walk, he was blind, and he was just trying to play an instrument. And it wasn't good. He was trying to sing, but he was just trying to make a living. And she stopped because she felt like God was saying, just show this man some love. And so she stopped, talked with him, was praying for him. Of course, they didn't understand each other. But basically, she was just trying to show God's love to this man who everyone just rejects. Nobody stops to even consider this person and what needs he might have. So she didn't give him anything. It's kind of like in Acts when the beggar's talking to Peter. It's like, do you have any money? He's like, what are you talking about? I don't have money. Get up, pick up your mat, go home. Unfortunately, we didn't see this man miraculously healed. But it's one thing that we trust that God did minister to him. But as we're walking back, I was talking like, what are you doing? Like, you can't just stop and just not even let us know. And right then, I felt like God was really just speaking to me of, I'm so concerned just going from A to B, but it's about the process. It's about the journey with the Lord. And sometimes we're not always aware of what's around us or aware of what God is wanting to speak to us. And, we kind of shared stories of, for you, God telling you, go do YWAM. That's a big, job change, different country. But I think it's just even the little things of just simple obedience. of, what is your calling? What are you doing? You're at the grocery store. How can you actually show God's love to someone? Are we actually there to, hear his voice so that we can actually, be Jesus to those around us? And of course, as Bible teachers like we are, I'd like to just kind of get your perspective of where do we see this kind of played out in Scripture?
I mean, Paul is the obvious one that a lot of people go to. That's kind
the
of
easy answer.
That's the. I don't want to say it's cliche, but it's everybody kind of. It's a popular, even Damascus experience. But I think one of my favorites is just Moses. Moses is 80 years old. He's been in the wilderness in Midian away from his people for 40 years and kind of settled and married. He's looking after his father-in-law's sheep and kind of just probably in the position of like, okay, well, this is my life now. I had to flee from Egypt, from my family, from my people, and I'm here and I have a wife here, I have a family. He was settled and whatever else, and then suddenly God just catches his attention, kind of sets this bush on fire that doesn't burn up, and I mean the Bible kind of puts it. Moses himself writes it pretty nonchalantly of like, I'll go over and see what this is. And that would have been blowing my mind. I don't know, but he kind of plays it off pretty cool. But
you've never seen a burning bush before?
Not one that doesn't burn up. No,
okay.
Not in that way. And I don't think I would just be like, I wonder what's going on here. Maybe he just played it down since he was the one writing it. But God just catches his attention like that, and just turns his life around completely. Takes what Moses probably thought was going to be the rest of his life of just, well, this is what I am, and this is what I'm doing, and then suddenly God takes that and turns it around and sends him on this incredible mission that Moses himself felt completely unprepared for, and sends him off on this mission to free a whole nation from Egypt, from Pharaoh, and lead them out of there and into the promised land. And it's just it all just starts from Moses being kind of doing his own thing, doing things very, very normal. He's not even trying to serve God. Paul, at least in his own mind, was serving God when he was on the way to Damascus. He felt that was his calling to serve God in that way, and God turned that around. But with Moses, he's going about his business. He's providing for his family. It's not even his own sheep that he's looking after. He's looking after what belongs to his father-in-law. So he was being faithful in what he had before him, and God kind of broke into that and caught his attention and used it. And that's one of my favorite ones. Just seeing how God kind of takes that, the ordinary that Moses was doing, and brings him into something so much more.
And just for both of us, we really enjoy as we teach the Bible, just the application portion. And so just I'll share a little bit. If you want to add something, you can.
Yep.
But I think sometimes when we read these stories of Moses, of Saul, and the experience that he turns into Paul, we're like, man, these are just huge, life-changing, God intervening in their lives. As like, it made it very clear what they are to do. But for the most part, that's not how it is for us in the day-to-day. Sometimes it is these little subtle nudges that he wants us to do. And so just, my encouragement to you as you're watching this is, are you willing for God to speak to you to do something different? I'm not saying it has to be something crazy and drastic. Maybe it is even for you to come and do a discipleship training school with us. Or maybe you just want to know the Word more and you want to spend 9 months going deep, writing your own Bible commentary. That sounds fun. And it doesn't have to be something crazy like that. It's just the simple little, things of just, you're at the grocery store and, you just feel like you're supposed to buy someone's groceries behind you. Are we willing to be obedient to where God is calling us, or are we going to kind of dig our feet in, kind of be a Jonah, be stubborn, and say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go the other way. So I don't know if you want to.
I think the other part of it as well is, God, it's not even always something that catches our attention. It's something that happens that forces a change in our circumstances, and actually then God uses that. Kind of the other one that comes to mind for me is Daniel. He was a young man in Jerusalem. He was one of the, well educated, he was faithful to God and probably had his idea of what he was going to do in that, and then suddenly Judah gets invaded and he gets carried off to Babylon, which wasn't anything that he did. And yet still he stayed faithful to God, and even in that situation in Babylon, he stayed faithful to God, and he recognized that God had a purpose for him there. And Daniel ended up advising multiple kings across different reigns and across 2 different kingdoms, even between across throughout his life, advising them and bringing them the word of God in it, all because he'd been carried out from Jerusalem into Babylon, because he was faithful in that. So it wasn't even there. I think it wasn't even something of, okay, God got his attention and then he took the step to be obedient. It was, he was brought somewhere else and he just continued to be faithful and obedient there. And, I think in that, just recognizing that even when our circumstances change and when things happen that we weren't expecting, or we end up in a situation that we weren't expecting, like, God is still in the midst of that, and God still has a purpose for us in that, and we can still be faithful to God and serve him in that way and minister in whatever that situation looks like. Regardless of what we kind of think ourselves, we still have that responsibility and that duty to respond to God and to actually be obedient in that.
Yeah, and I know for myself, again, I can look back on the past 3 years since we made that commitment to stay here, start the SBS. I can look back and see the benefits of that and see God's faithfulness of, man, if I would have left, I don't know how terrible things would have gone, but it wouldn't have been good. But I can see how God has just been equipping me and giving me more and more responsibility that I can learn and grow, so that when it's time to move on, I'm actually ready and able to do that. And so just for myself, just lately, I've just been having this season of, thanksgiving to the Lord for, what he has done, how he's intervened in my life. And so again, just for you guys as the viewers, have a time of thanksgiving, remembering what God has done for you, what he's brought you through. Because in this season, and with everything that's going on, it's so easy to focus on the negative and what's right, what's wrong, what's going on, are we ever gonna get out of this? But we kind of sometimes forget about God or the good that he's done in our lives. So I just encourage you guys, just take some time tonight, tomorrow, and just really just thank him for who he is, but also what he has done in your own life. Let's not be people who are so quick to forget his faithfulness and his love that he has shown us as we move on. So that's all I have. Do you have anything?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all I've got too.
Well, thank you for tuning in this week. We hope you guys have enjoyed these little Facebook Live videos that we've been doing. Different staff able to share a little bit of our stories with you, and just hopefully it's a time of encouragement. And we'll be back next week with some more worship, some more encouragement every night, 7 o'clock Mountain Time. Have a great weekend.